Hey everyone, Zach Bulls here, gay dating coach, co-creator of Gay Man Thriving. If you're like most gay men I know, you're really good at pretending. This is something that you learned at a really early age to avoid negative attention, to avoid negative judgment, to avoid feeling embarrassed. You learned how to pretend to be who you needed to be to fit in, and at that time it felt like to survive. What I want to talk about in this video is how, while this seemed like a skill at the time, this has actually been a huge disservice to me in terms of as I got older and began wanting to create real, meaningful connections. And what I've noticed is, especially in romantic relationships, this tendency that we learned from a really early age really rears its ugly head. What this looks like is when you meet a guy that you really like, and if you're like most gay men I know, you have this belief that guys that could be really great for you are few and far between, that there's a lack of options, a lack of choices out there, and also that gay dating has to be really hard. And so when you meet someone that you really like, you can really feel like you hit the jackpot. And what happens is when you pedestalize these guys, this old pattern, this old behavior of pretending is so likely to come up. And what that looks like is when you meet this guy that you really like and you put him on a pedestal and you start questioning if he's into you, you start wondering if it's going to work out. You start getting in your head and you start overthinking. You start doubting yourself. You're likely to do one of two things. One is you really are afraid you're going to say and do the wrong thing, and so you get really in your head and you just start to freeze. You overthink the messages that you want to send, so you don't send them. You don't want to say the wrong thing, so you don't say anything. In other words, you freeze and shut down and completely close yourself off, and you might even make excuses of telling yourself that you're not even into him, or that, oh, he's out of my league anyway. But you really shoot yourself in the foot by closing yourself off to connection, and even if he was interested in you, he sees you closing off and he's going to lose interest because you're not making yourself available. Another thing that we typically do is the opposite, which is start trying too hard. We feel like we've got this sense of lack, and we feel like somehow we've got to make up for it. And so we start overcompensating. We start trying really hard to do and say the right things. We start people pleasing, we start self-sacrificing, we start being overly accommodating. And this is going to do one of two things. This performative behavior, this overcompensating, this trying too hard, is going to push away the secure gay men as they question, why are you trying so hard? What are you hiding? Why are you overcompensating? And it's going to be a big red flag for them. And so if you're noticing that you keep repelling the kind of guys that you really want to be with, this is a behavior that you're probably engaging in. This behavior, this overgiving, overtrying, overcompensating, doesn't push away all gay men. In fact, it attracts a very specific type. Narcissists, selfish gay men, takers are so attracted to this giving nature that they can sense within you. When they see you trying so hard, when they see you overgiving and overserving and trying to please them, it's exactly what they're looking for. And so what you end up doing is attracting guys who are really in it for the wrong reasons. And this is the beginning of a codependent relationship where you're giving and giving and giving, they're taking and taking and taking, and it's never going to be sustainable. And so what I want to help anchor in is that the solution is not waiting for the right guy to come along. It's getting to the root of this self-sabotaging behavior. It's getting to the root of why you're either freezing and shutting yourself off and closing up, or why you're trying too hard and overcompensating and repelling the good guys and attracting the bad ones. It's getting to the root of this self-defeating behavior, which is your self-doubt, your insecurity, you questioning your worth and your value when you meet a guy that you really like. If you're like most gay men I work with, you're really confident all day long at work and in other situations, but it's these moments when we meet a potential romantic companion that we really get our hopes up with, we start to get attached, and that's what causes the problem. And so what I want to invite you to be thinking about is what you need to do to get underneath this past programming, because it stems from a long way back. This tendency to perform, this tendency to pretend, it's deeply rooted, and it's not doing you any favors when it comes to building a lasting, meaningful connection. Because authenticity and vulnerability are core ingredients to connection. But if you're all up in your head trying to say and do the right things, you're shutting yourself off, you're closing yourself off from being truly authentic and vulnerable. And when I talk about being authentic and vulnerable, I'm talking about having the courage and authentic confidence to express your wants, your needs, your desires, and to set healthy boundaries. And when you can learn how to do this, when you're really solid and firm in who you are, when you really trust in your worth and your value, and you're not willing to settle or sacrifice, that's when you're an energetic magnet for the right type of guys. What I'm speaking about is energetic attraction, which is the most powerful force that draws people to us or repels people away. And if you're in a lower frequency, really doubting yourself, really questioning your worth, and then trying too hard and overcompensating, no matter how many guys you meet, you're going to repel the good ones, the secure gay men. You're going to attract the ones who are in it for the wrong reasons. When you're ready to get underneath that and really align your energy with who you are, your unique energy, and start building trust and confidence in that, no matter how old you are, no matter what you look like, no matter where you live, you can build that lasting, meaningful connection. And if you really want this, I would love to teach you. Somewhere near this video will be a link for you to fill out an application and schedule a chat. If you're really interested in doing the work, really getting underneath these old behavioral patterns that are fueled by the old self-sabotaging thoughts and beliefs and insecurities that we've buried from childhood, then reach out to me. I'd love to explore how I can help you be another success story and create that loving, lasting companionship. That's all I've got for now. If you found this helpful, subscribe to my channel if this is on YouTube. And I look forward to coming back and making more videos soon. Bye for now.